Yeah.
It gets a little bit tougher later on as Ambessa gets eclipsed and she just kind of continues to dash into you and you eventually get shoved out, but a lot of control early, a lot of gold generation there in the mid lane for this TF. Critical flash.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he just stood there and took the damage from Lucid and Barrel and did not care. They're going for the re-engage here as we got TF coming down here. Showmaker is going to flash behind the Braum wall, and he is going to do a bunch of damage, but not enough to take out Diablo, as who will be the first blood? It will go over to Raptor, but it is traded back as Showmaker does get a kill himself. As you were saying, she can just ride the wall and come on up and just help out with these grubs, and that just means that DK will give them away. But it is some free time for Showmaker to hit this turret.
Yeah, Showmaker was a little bit behind in farm, but is now completely caught up because of this, and we'll get that plate. Vikla can rotate over here. We'll get, looks like, the last bit of these minions, just the last two, because of his passive to just surf his way down. 3 grubs, 2 BNK feels really good.
Maybe just a ward put down. Okay, they're going to start this dragon up.
The cool thing about having the mid prio early, where you have your bottom layers in mid and then a solution into a Senna early game, means that you can group towards the TF that's bottom side, because his global isn't going to get any impact if you're actually taking an objective on the same side of the map that he is. So you can just push him in there and take the dragon for free.
And so we'll see about which soul it is. A couple of really good ones. Actually, we're going to have an engage here as we do have Braum coming up for the gank and a TP as well. Shiu is going to be run down. He's going to dodge that Q. Still has his flash, but I think at this point, especially with the Talia coming up, he's just going to accept his fate. And Vikla is given the kill after that nice play there from Clear. Yeah, you know, we talked about BDD, and are we going to have a fight here? We have Ghost popped by Barrel. He seems to want to go in. There's the flash engage on aiming as they get it done with the Jarvan, but the damage doesn't get down. Vikla finally takes him out, and the gigantic shove from Vikla gives them so much room in this fight as Lucid and Showmaker have to back away and leave Barrel alone. Only Raptor goes down, and it's a big win in a little skirmish here in the river.
It just makes no sense as to what Dplus was trying to force there to me. Phenomenal, but set up by Raptor in that situation. Those are the types of skirmishes you want to take with this BNK comp. Like, you want these fights. Dplus are just like, you can have it. Here you go.
Yeah. By the way, I said the Rift Herald would be free for BNK. Not the case. They kind of just let it go and went for the Drake instead. And we'll see how that trade works out for them, as first turret might just go the way of DK at this point because they've got a Jace and they have the Herald, which they're smartly not even going to use here, as nobody is here to defend, so they just say, well, we can use it on the next turret if we want to, or we can use it mid.
Hextech Soul is the gamble. BNK were looking for one of those high roll souls like you mentioned. The worst one would have been Chemtech, right? But they statistically, we're going to have a probably good soul here.
Yeah, 3 to 4.
They decide to go for that as aiming is the target.
All right, engage Braum. Let's see how it works out. It's not going to work out at all. TF comes on in. Jarvan, Raptor tries to follow up, but BNK are going way too deep on this fight, and they will be punished for it. As BNK, they just can't deny themselves a fight, and DK say thank you very much. We will take those 2 kills.
Bit of a head scratcher here on this one, but BNK want to take as many fights as possible, right, with this comp when it's at its strongest, but taking a risky one like this is at a heavy cost when now the Rift Herald is going to get charged in. It will be denied actually by this Weaver's Wall.
That was a nice angle there from Vikla, actually.
Really safe deny there, not really any counterplay from Dplus, so at least this gets shut down in goal, but that's less valuable than the stacking he will have, especially with this Trundle that's getting bigger and bigger.
That was a very nice pillar. Now we got Exhaust and a TF coming in. He takes a while to die, but 4v1 not going to be very fair. As BNK say, well, you got Clear. What can we get out of this? I'm not sure they're going to be able to get anything. As the rotation comes back in, we got a wall, though, coming over from Vikla. Trying to get at least a little bit of pressure. But meanwhile, Showmaker just looking for the inner and top lane. This guy is getting Omega fed in this game.
Yeah, he is huge. 700 extra gold here as he continues to take out these minions and stack more passive. 2 minutes away from Rod transformation. Here for BNK.
Well, they know now. Do they have the damage is really the question. I think they do, and at this point, you kind of have to commit, as you can't pull off now. Let's see how it goes, and yeah, Lucid not going to be able to get here in time. The damage is there. Very nice call from BNK. They're going to get a bunch.
Individually going to be as valuable as the Otacon itself, but at least they're able to get something out of this. crazy that both this bottom and mid are still up these turrets. Finally, Shu will take down this bottom turret, and the mid turret with a group from Dplus will also probably fall. They already got the inner top side, so Showmaker is so massive to killing TF, because the way Shiu is being on the bottom side, he's just not putting himself in a vulnerable spot. They keep trying to kill him, and he gets away every time, as Lucid may have overextended here.
Yeah, he is in a bit of trouble. He does have to flash away. Bit of a wall comes down on top of it all. The engaged Braum, once again, not really going to hit, but Beryl is all by himself. He's like, hey guys, I heard there's a party. And then he showed up late when the cops were already there. So BNK just take him down.
This is a huge swing. Kill. They're going to get so much map control from this, and aiming Splash being down is huge on this Senna. Big mistake from Dplus. Oh, no way, no way!
Lucid! And the flash over the wall, Vikla! He's feeling himself today, 3-0-2. He says, I'm fed as well.
That's a shutdown, and Shiu's in no man's land.
And they're forcing it. This is so smart from BNK. They know that DK cannot step up to this turret. Unfortunately, DK did not know that themselves. BNK getting a lot on the map here as they take that inner mid out as well.
Are Dplus a house of cards? Dominoes, or like somebody's sandcastle that's got kicked over? I don't know, but they're falling apart. Lane TF threat, a little bit less of a worry now.
Yeah, you guys might have caught it, but we got a little clip of Lucid saying sorry to his team, because he knows, I mean, he was the first domino, right? He gets caught, Beryl gets caught, he dies eventually, does Lucid, and then aiming dies in mid, so looks like pretty smart from Vikla not to go that way. But still, Showmaker getting a lot of value in the side lane.
Yeah, he ends up getting another inner turret. And later on, if this game goes long, you know, he can start threatening the inhibitors themselves. Back up, maybe that's the play for Dplus. Look for the backline here. Shiu also on the flank, big shock blast.
Yeah, only gonna hit Kellen though. And so it might just end up being a flip here if Lucid can get in, and he's right next to it. The wall comes down though, and Lucid's on the other side, and well, he gets in range anyway and just smites it. Oasis, thanks for the leash. And, well, I liked the setup from BNK, but the execution was not.
And giving them additional information, as we're looking for potentially a pick here on the Beryl.
Yeah, not exactly the best target, and he's gonna knock Raptor straight into the team. He has to flash away, and now the picks are going to be coming out, but Clear shows up, and DK taking this safely. A big cataclysm, but he immediately dies. The follow-up's not there. BNK going very deep into this one. They take out the Alistar finally and force you to flash away. And now the picks continue to come through the gold cards. The center roots, the pillars, as Zing goes clear. He's in the backline by himself, and he gets burst down once again. As DK are playing this so well, just keeping them at arm's distance. And that's going to be the end of that. Vikla, though, pretty tanky.
Dplus now in the complete driver's seat in this game.
Trying to look for another pick here. A lot of summoners are down, and Diablo is just getting flanked from so many different directions. He's got a Braum in front of him, but it still doesn't matter. Lucid survives, and that'll be the end of BNK's bottom lane as they both bite the dust. We'll see if DK want to start up this Baron here. 5v3. I mean, Raptor's full health and his Jarvan, so it might be a little bit difficult, but still going to look at it.
And, I mean, at this point, Vikla needs to get a big shove. Doesn't have wall, doesn't have flash. Closing that gap is very tricky. Clear trying to find an angle.
Now, looks like they want to try to look for a pick to Showmaker.
No flash for Raptor, but he is Jarvan. They're trying to go in.
Clear is going to get to the backline. He's doing a lot of damage, but he's just one guy. He stops him from doing the Baron, which I feel like is worth, but it's only temporary, as now Vikla's just going to TP away. And DK say, maybe we could just do it now.
I think that was the game-winning fight for Dplus, to be honest with you, Valdez. They just go from strength to strength from there. They have the setup for Baron. It's really easy to slow play it there and punish all those low-health members of BNK. Low damage as well, realistically. Vikla doesn't have flash. He tries to go in there with Clear. Too much Dplus here. Braum also dead in live.
Yeah, not sure what was happening here. Probably just going for some wards and got punished. And yeah, a little zoom in on a Showmaker who did use his ult again, so.
Sealed spellbook, so he can kind of do anything too.
I don't think it's possible. Like, he would have to be very out of position. Like, they just don't have the engage tools to do it, which is part of why forcing Lucian Braum sometimes can get you in trouble if DK are gonna draft like this and play it out very intelligently. As So we got a little wall here. Nice little knock up on a Shiu. And a little TP flank from both, but they're both now out of the fight. The two of them are just not here. They're just not in the fight at all. As the two damage dealers just get eaten alive, and that's going to be the end of Raptor as well. As there's the chunk from the card, and I think DK have done it in a very clean game #1 victory.
Great start here for Dplus. I know Dplus fans are worried about the pattern where game 1 always looks great, but this was a really strong showcasing of how to play this comp. That was the biggest doubt I had. Will the coordination be good enough? Will the peel be good enough for aiming? And the game-winning fight showcased it. Absolutely it was. Showmaker going golden as the Nexus falls.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.